In March of last year, 29-year-old Martin Pateo won the Azalea Trail Run by a fraction of a second. Now ranked number 1 in the world, Pateo has returned to Mobile to defend his title and to attempt to become the first runner since Bill Rogers in 1983 to repeat as champion. But Pateo is facing another Azalea Trail Run champion. Mauricio Gonzalez's 1988 finish was only 7 seconds off the race record. Francie LaRue Smith won last year's Azalea Trail Run, finishing less than 5 seconds off the race record. She's ranked number 4 in the world, and to become the first woman to ever repeat as champion, she'll have to beat the number 5 runner, Kim Jones. The 1991 Azalea Trail Run is next.
Coverage of the 14th annual Azalea Trail Run is brought to you in part by Hardee's, Orkin Exterminators, and the University of South Alabama.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 1991 edition of the Azalea Trail Run, the 14th annual running of the race. I'm Rene, Knott, standing alongside Steve Schoenewald, our race expert for the race. Steve, what do you think about today's conditions?
Well, they're terrible, actually. We got temperature around 71 degrees and humidity at 97%. The weather is going to be, the air is going to be real heavy, and that means it's tough to breathe. There's so much water in the air, so your lungs are going to feel like they're filled up.
Martin Pateo from Mexico won last year's race by just 1 second. He's number 1 in the world coming into this race. Can we expect a fast time from him today?
Well, I think time basically around what he ran last year, 28:20 range. You know, last year he was going, Martin who? You know, and he's number 1 ranked road racer in the world, won some big road races like the Chicago Marathon. I think he'll be a factor, and you got to look at Mauricio Gonzalez being another favorite.
Let's look to the women now. Last year's champion, Francie LaRue Smith, a 4-time Olympic runner. She's back here this year. She looked real good last night. She mentioned the fact that she kind of likes these type of weather conditions.
Well, you know, she must love Mobile because she won the charity run in November and, of course, last year's Azalea Trail. So she's in a role here, and she always seems to be fit when she comes to Mobile. I look for her to win, and possibly with another impressive time as she's had in the past.
Now, a lot of the runners here today aren't your world-class or your top runners. They're just the average Joes. Lance Crawford is standing by with a man that we got to meet last week, Ronnie Gibson. Lance?
What's it like here a few minutes before the start of the race? Any butterflies?
Oh, sure. You know, this is just one of the best days in Mobile as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I look forward to this all year, and I wish there was more of the community involved. You know, I think they might be missing out on something. But anyway, there's a great turnout, and it's really, you know, exciting morning.
All right, good luck, Ronnie. We'll talk to you at the finish line. Let's get it back to Steve and Rene.
Okay, we're just about ready to start the wheelchair portion of the race. These guys will get out to a pretty good start before the runners take off, and they will be moving at a rather fast pace. Let's talk a little bit about last year's champion here to defend his title.
Well, Laverne Achenbach is the man to beat in this race, I think. I pretty much think he's head and shoulders over everybody else, but you never know who may show up the day of the race, and this is the day of the race, so maybe somebody has slipped in we don't know about.
I would guess that the wheelchair athletes no doubt love this course because it's pretty much flat all the way around, just a little bit of a hill when you make it over to Dolphin Street, so hopefully we'll have some fast times from the wheelchair athletes as well as the runners, and let's get set for that start to begin.
Come on, let's hear it from everybody. Way to go, guys!
And we'll be back with more of the 1991 Azalea Trail Run right after this. There's a gun, and they are off. The 1991 Azalea Trail Run has hit the streets of Mobile. Steve, looking at a pack of runners like this, what are some of the fears that you have when you're running back there in the pack, say in the middle of the group?
Well, you know, you don't want to get trampled. There's people pushing and shoving, and there's always people that seem to sneak in where they shouldn't be as far as at the start pace-wise. So, you know, you want to try to relax, get position, and just like I said, get relaxed as soon as you can.
For the top seeds, is it now the time for them to kind of get around to where they would like to be, where they want to have their position for the entire race, or do they just kind of work their way into a nice, comfortable position for the first, say, few kilometers?
Yeah, they're just trying to get into a little bit of a comfortable position and rhythm, and, you know, it's like a boxing match. You're feeling each other out. This is the early rounds of the bout, so to speak.
Those guys that are no doubt filling themselves out are those up in the front of the pack, the top seeds. Let's begin with Martin Pateo. Of course, he's a returning champion, #1 ranked runner in the world.
Yeah, you have Martin and also Mauricio Gonzalez, a fellow Mexican. I kind of like Carl Thackeray a little bit. He's from Great Britain. He's run 27:57. Also Marcus Barreto, 27:50. You know, he won the Huntsville race, the Cotton Row Run, as well as the race up in Birmingham, the Vulcan Run, in previous years. So this is the only top 10K in Alabama. He's #1.
Now we have a local runner that is among the top 26 seeds, Mike Plum. Do you think Mike will be up around the front of the pack right now, or will he be kind of working his way up throughout the race?
Well, I think Mike is probably in that second group or third group behind the elite runners, usually right near there.
Just gone by the first mile marker there. We're at 4:48 as the runners cross by. Is that a pretty good time? Are they running at a comfortable pace?
Well, it is comfortable pace. If they were running on record pace, they'd be down around 4:28 right now, maybe 4:30. So they're just running at a leisurely pace for them.
And continuing to lead the pack there is Dave Mora from the United States. He's led now for a few blocks and seems to be running rather strong. Who else do you see running strong in that front pack, Steve?
Well, you know, not to go all the way back, but about 400 yards, I still see Francie LaRue Smith, so she is running very strong.
Is she driven by watching these guys kind of run in front of her?
I think so, you know, that partly, but also she has a keen sense of time, of what she wants to run, and her competitive edge is so much that, you know, she just has that inner drive that she, I think, could get out here and run by herself and still probably run 32:30 or something.
See the runners
And we just
coming
had
around
a
the
runner
corner.
go down. I think that was Mark Elliott from Jamaica. Used to run at LSU, an All-American at LSU. I think he went down as we turned here on Fulton Street. You know, there's still a pack of 20 runners about, and it's still congested.
When we look at the lead pack right now, we notice that the runners are shifting back and forth in the front of the pack. What about the guys in the middle? Are they at any type of disadvantage or advantage because of drafting?
You know, sometimes it's a disadvantage because you can't see where those feet are. You're so packed in there. In the situation of strong wind, it's great to be in that pack. But I don't know if we have that quite of a wind today where it makes that much of a advantage.
As the runners approach Dolphin Street, we'll take a break and return with more of the Azalea Trail Run after this. We're now working our way down Dolphin Street with the lead pack. Mark Mateo, who was leading as we turned onto the street, has dropped back. Steve, who are some of the stronger runners that you see right now as we make our way down this long straightaway?
Well, I see Steve Kogo from Kenya. He's number 15 again. Carl Thackeray is running real strong. And also Rolando Vera is right in there. And Marcus Barreto, Mauricio Gonzalez is right behind Carl Thackeray. You can just see his head. And right next to him is Martin Pateo. You know,
let's say that I am Mark Pateo right now and I want to return as a champion in 1992. What do I need to do at this moment? Do I need to just hang with the pack and wait till I get around by Canal Street and make my move? Or should I make my move soon?
I think he's waiting kind of right now. He's just hanging in there. He looks real relaxed, to tell you the truth. Now, whether he can continue to look that way, I don't know. Thackeray and Vera look to be pushing the pace. Gonzalez has just moved up alongside him. But you can tell, I think, Rene, that they have picked it up at about a 4 1/4 miles here to drop some people.
While the pace picks up here, let's check on how Ronnie Gibson is doing back in the pack. Lance?
Rene, he had a strong first half, but at the 4-mile mark, you can really see the weather taking its toll.
Steve, when the race began, we talked about 26 top runners. We have a number 27 that is hanging with the group. He's doing a very good job. Do you think that a guy like that is overmatched right now, or do you think he has enough to hang? He seems to be somewhat tightening up.
Well, you know, this is Albert Villa Martinez, and he's a late entry. And I guess I said earlier when we were talking about the wheelchairs, you never know who might show up. And he's been running excellent, although he looks like he's hurting now. I think they're getting ready to drop him. I think you got to pace a pack of 5. As you can see, he's a little bit tight, and he's working real hard up top. As they turn the corner here on Broad Street, Gonzalez looks pretty good in Pateo. As you can see, Thackeray is weaving and bobbing a little up top. So I don't know, he may be getting ready to be dropped. Vera still looks pretty good. And also Leonardo Reeves looks good. And you know what? Number 27 there, our gentleman, the unknown runner that we were saying before, has moved back up to him. And he's maybe just be one of those guys with the facial contortions. It might surprise us.
Up ahead, the wheelchair race is coming to an end. Tony Nagura crossing the line first in a time of 23:28. That's a new ATR record.
About 50 meters from the finish line, I was really hammered, like we're going really hard, and this kid just crossed in front of me, you know, and I said, watch out, and I kind of turned a little to the right, get away from the kid, and my left wheel went over his foot, and I just tipped over.
The finish of the men's open when we return. As we make our way now onto Canal Street, making the turn, you notice that Pateo has dropped back just a little bit into second place. Vera still leading the pack, but the two continue to jockey back and forth, neither one willing to take over the lead. At what point, Steve, do you think that one of the two will start to make their kick, start to sprint away from the pack?
Well, if it was me, I'd start moving now, you know. Last year, Pateo, showed he could outkick Herman Silva, so he's going to be dangerous. He also ran a great race at Crescent City, but he got outkicked at Crescent City. Also Gonzalez, if I was him, I would start making my move now. All these guys look, though, right now that they're ready. They're just going to hang there and see who kicks. Vera is trying to move along. Thackeray, I think, is getting ready to be dropped. And as you look at number 14, Leonardo Reeves, he looks real fresh. But whether he has that leg turnover at the end, that'll be another story.
Well, as you notice, Pateo kind of dropped directly behind Vera for a while there. Now he's moving out to the side. Drafting no longer, I think, a factor now because the pack has thinned out to just those lead three. Vera just looked at his watch. Is he thinking now, I got to stay on pace, or is he worried about the guy over his shoulder?
Well, he might be thinking, well, this is my projected time, and I'm this far from the finish line, and that will give him an extra boost. Gonzalez still looks real good, and Thackeray and Pateo are still trying to hang in there, but they may have given up a little too much ground to make up.
Okay, the first guy across the line will pick up a check for $5,000. Does that enter in right now? I mean, when you're running, do you start thinking, gosh, there's a big paycheck at the end. I think I'll put my kick in at this time?
I don't think so. I don't think they're thinking about that. I think they're just thinking of winning. Of course, with the winning comes the big paycheck, but they're concentrating on what they've got to do. And Vera's just looked again at Gonzalez. I think he may be hurting a little bit more. This is going to be very interesting finish here. Now, Vera has made a move, and he's kind of moved over to the side. I don't know if he's surrendering or just trying to gather for the finish here.
Pateo has dropped off. He will not repeat as the winner of the Azalea Trail Run. It looks like this race is going to belong to Mr. Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is making his move now. I think he was probably just measuring him up. I don't know if Vera can catch for second, but they're really picking it up coming in now.
And there you see the stretch right there. Gonzalez making his way uncontested. What type of a race did he run today, Steve?
Oh, he ran an excellent race. Gonzalez is going to be the winner, and it's going to be around 29 and change. Second is going to be Leonardo Reeves, and then followed by Rolando Vera.
At what point in the race did you feel that it was time to take over, time to run the way you wanted to?
Well, I was trying to do that since the halfway, but the weather was too bad. It was too humid, and then I decided to try to make it in the last 100 meters, and then when I saw the finish line, I think 200 meters before, I decided to run faster.
Finishing first in the men's masters division, Manuel Vera from Mexico.
This woman is 38 years of age, if you want a little inspiration. Four-time Olympian. Last year's winner. Look at her move down the straightaway. Francie LaRue Smith, congratulations on another great race.
And with the win, Francie LaRue Smith becomes the first woman to repeat as ATR champion.
Well, I ran the race how I had hoped to run it, just go out and try to break the course record, but I think I went out maybe a little too fast and under these humid conditions. But I feel good about my performance.
And for the third year in a row, Mike Plum is the #1 local finisher among the men.
From the 4-mile mark on, it was just like waiting for my worst nightmare to happen, waiting for one of these local guys to come up, because when I told you they're always waiting for me to fall apart, well, today was one of those days where I think I came pretty close to falling apart with the conditions.
Also repeating this year, Women's Masters winner, Priscilla Welch. The honor of first local female finisher goes to Mary Como.
I really had no idea that I was the first local winner. I was running to beat my own time, which was 37, so that was my goal.
Let's now go to Amy Greer, who is standing by with the story of some special runners.
Thanks, Rene. The Special Runners Race is really a very important part of the entire Azalea Trail Run tradition. About 7 years ago, they had 2 runners in the race. This year, they've got nearly 190. These folks are really proving that you don't have to win the trail run to be a winner.
One of the things that spring is all about in Mobile is getting out and being outside with the azaleas and stuff. And the clients and the participants have a great time, and it's just a lot of fun for everyone.
Carol and I have been working at the Chandler YMCA since late December, and we've just built up to our 2 miles, and we're hoping that we can break an hour here. We went 57 minutes last time, so we're looking forward to it.
It was a chance for some special folks to enjoy the day and to just be a part of the community. Rene, back to you.
Thank you, Amy. Now hang on to your running shoes. We'll be back with more from the 1991 Azalea Trail Run. Well, Steve, the race is over. The 1991 Azalea Trail Run just about wrapping up as people are milling about here outside the arena, just kind of taking in the atmosphere, drinking their drinks and telling tales about their race. What would you do if you had just finished right now?
Well, I might head, first I'd head and get me something cool to drink. Then I think I'd hit this fountain behind me and soak my legs in it.
Looking back at this year's race, it was a pretty good race, even though the conditions weren't the best. It was hot and it was humid. The racers still finished. What type of memories will you take away from the 1991 Azalea Trail Run?
Well, the courage of all the runners out here battling some extreme conditions. The move that Mauricio Gonzalez made coming off of Canal on to South Claiborne to open it up for the victory.
Another guy that has a few memories is Ronnie Gibson, who's standing by with Lance Crawford.
The biggest factor has to be humidity, so I want to ask, how did it feel as far as real tough? Did you really labor? You said about halfway through?
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was probably the worst Azalea Trail run conditions I've ever seen. And it wasn't too bad going out through the halfway mark, but when you turn the corner on the Dauphin Street, suddenly you lost the headwind and it really got hot. I think a lot of people started giving up then.
Now, not everyone ran in the 10K run. There is also a 2-mile fun run. Amy Greer is standing by with a look at that race.
Thanks, Rene. The fun run is really a chance, especially for children, to get in on the fun of the Azalea Trail Run. This year we've got 3,200 kids from 65 different schools. And this is the second largest running program like this in the entire country.
I'm just going to try to win the race and keep ahead of everybody, because my dad taught me how to pace myself and stuff.
So you're going to win?
I'm going to try.
Who's going to win this race today?
Me!
Pretty exciting looking outfit on. Is this going to help you win?
I don't know.
All of the little guys move back.
What's your strategy?
Well, I'm just hoping that I at least will be in 4th or 5th place, and I'll try my best to be in 1st.
You guys have a great time out here, you kids. Be careful, be careful. Get up.
It was a race that lived up to its name. Fun for everyone. Back to you, Rene.
Thank you, Amy. And when all the fun and runs were said and done, all the runners gathered at the Mobile Civic Center for the individual award ceremony. Well, Steve, I guess we've said all we can say about the Azalea Trail Run. We've watched it from start to finish. We've talked to the winners. We've talked to the losers. Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I'd just like to congratulate everyone. Everyone who competed in this race is really a winner, just to come out and participate in these festivities.
Okay, I'm Rene Knott.
And I'm Steve Schoenewald.
And that's it from the 1991 Azalea Trail Run. Good night, and we'll see you next year.
Runners set. Have a good run, everybody. Let's hear it out there for all these guys.
Tonight's coverage of the Azalea Trail Run has been brought to you in part by the University of South Alabama, Orkin Exterminators, and Hardee's.